Well, hello, freshman knights, and welcome back to UCF this semester. For those of you who are returning, I hope that you had an incredible winter break and that you did what I kind of hoped you'd do, and that would be rest, relax, and reflect. And all the lessons that you learned this first semester of your college experience in the fall, that you take those lessons and you bring them forward and start your spring super strong, super motivated, and like I said, learn from any past mistakes and you move forward with great progress. For those of you, and we've got about 100 or so who are new here to UCF this semester, welcome to UCF. We are very happy you're here, that you chose the College of Engineering. And, again, you may not know who I am, so I will say my name. I'm Jackie Sullivan, and I'm the instructor for the EGN1006 courses, which were the freshman engineering courses in the fall, and then again this spring for EGN1007. So for those of you, again, new to UCF, I'm here for you. My office is located in Engineering 1, room 251, and I have easy 8 student office hours designated this week for you guys to just pop your head in if you need any kind of help. I may not know the answer, but I do know a lot of people around here, so I'd be happy to help find the person that can solve any problems that you might have this semester. So again, welcome back, or welcome to UCF. All right, big announcement is that next week you have to go to lab. Our labs do start next week. And again, for those new students, there are 2 parts to this course. We have a lab section, which meets in person, and then there's also a lecture section. This semester, it will again be online, so in your lecture web course, a link to the online lecture will appear, and it's an online synchronous, so you have to be watching the lecture for the section that you're registered for. So unfortunately, if you're the 7:30 lecture, you have to wake up, roll over, and watch the video, okay? So like I said, important that you make sure you know that there is 2 parts to this course. Lab does begin next week. For those of you in the Monday course, though, it's a federal holiday. It's Martin Luther King Day, and UCF will be closed in observance of MLK Day. So there will not be any Monday lab lectures, Monday labs. So for those of you in Monday labs, don't panic. Round about Tuesday afternoon, 3 o'clock onward, hopefully, there will be a recording that is going to post that will have been a Tuesday lecture, basically, that's been recorded for the Monday students, and that way y'all don't fall behind. So your job, Monday students, will be to watch that lecture and stay on top of everything for the lab, okay? Let's see. One other thing I need to tell everyone is that the location for our lab is not 260 for every single lab section. The labs this semester are actually 75 minutes long. They're not 50 minutes long. And, we just needed more space. So we were able to find other locations to have lab. And we're asking that everyone bring their laptops to lab, because although 260, Engineering 1 260 has the computers, the other sites for lab don't have them. So be sure and bring your laptop with you. Other important announcements: you are in the lecture portion of the course, you are to complete a syllabus quiz. And the purpose of that quiz is our initial activity that shows you are indeed enrolled in the course and you are active in the course. I recommend that you complete that quiz by the deadline, which is tonight, Friday night at 11:59 p.m. Don't wait till the last minute, all right? Never do that when you've got an 11:59 deadline. But I really want to encourage you to complete that. In fact, you're going to have to do this activity for all of your courses. It basically, again, lets the financial aid office know that you are indeed enrolled, you are indeed active in your courses, and you should get your financial aid. And the aid, you may say, well, I don't have financial aid. It covers everything: loans, grants, bright futures, scholarship money. All of that will be released to you in a timely manner if you go ahead and get this quiz done on time. Let's see, what else? In the syllabus, you'll see the office hours, not only for myself, But we have a wonderful 3-person GTA team this year. I'm very excited about that. And their office hours are there as well. The office for them has changed, and you'll find out about that later in the lecture. We do ask again that you communicate with myself and with the GTAs in a group. If you're emailing me, you have to copy all of the 3 GTAs, because we're going to work really hard this semester. We basically have a 4-person team, and then we're going to assign times where we're going to read all of your emails and get back to you. So put your questions, problems, whatever it is, in the inbox of the lecture web course, and someone will get back to you within 48 hours. Right? And that's what we're trying to commit to you this semester. One more important aspect of the syllabus is religious observances. Springtime, there are a lot of different holidays for different faiths, and they're on the calendar. You know them, and you know if you are going to be absent from either a lab or a lecture because of that. My request is that by February 1st, that's the cutoff deadline, you will have to have notified myself and the GTAs of the dates that you will miss because of religious observances. And that's a pretty hard deadline as well. Again, the online lecture, I've changed a little bit how much that counts toward your grade in lecture. The attendance, the online attendance, is going to be worth 60% of your lecture grade, and your module material will be 40%. And then finally, last thing I want to highlight in the syllabus is the Work Integrative Learning Pilot Program, which I'll be discussing later in lecture. Those assignments you can't use your freebie that is talked about in the syllabus. You have to do the module material for those assignments, and also the industry panel at the end of the semester, week 13 I think it is, that you must attend as well. That's part of the Work Integrative Learning. So those are not excused. You have to attend those, and the only way you can miss it or make them up is through documentation. Okay, again, start of a new semester. There's an RSO fair actually today being held in the Pegasus Ballroom from 1:30 to 4:30. For those of you who, didn't get involved last fall, and instead you focused on your grades and schoolwork and getting acclimated, kudos to you. That's awesome. That's what we want you to do. We want you to succeed academically. However, we also want you to get involved in a registered student organization too. It's really important that you get involved in a technical club, do that hands-on work. That's going to be held today from 1:30 to 4:30. Student Union, Pegasus Ballroom. So again, didn't get involved last year, I encourage you to head on out to the Student Union and see all of the different clubs. There will be UCF agencies and different departments there as well. So for some of you new students, it might be good for you to go there. So if there are any agencies or offices or departments that you want to connect with or need help from, like financial aid or something like that, they'll be there as well. So great event happening 1:30 to 4:30 in the Pegasus Ballroom Student Union today. And speaking of RSOs, want to let you know that Theta Tau, which is an engineering fraternity, it's a national organization. It's the only national engineering fraternity in the country. They have a chapter here at UCF, and they are doing their spring recruiting efforts this week and into, I guess, the weekend and into next week as well. So want to let you know about that, and I believe there's a QR code you want to take a quick look at. And if you're interested in joining that organization, just use that QR code to connect and apply for Theta Tau. It is an application process. Then there's one final organization I want to discuss today. It's called the President's Leadership Council. PLC is the acronym. Back in the day when I was a student here at UCF, I was on the President's Leadership Council. It's a very, very unique opportunity for students. You're the ambassadors basically for our school, and they pick students from all the different colleges, and they'll pick a good number because engineering is big. We are the second largest, soon to be the largest college here on campus. So there'll be a good number of students that can be on PLC from the College of Engineering. Their applications opened on January 13th, and they'll close on February 13th. And I'm not gonna lie, if you are ahead with credits, like you may physically be a freshman, but credit-wise you're a sophomore, or some of you even juniors for goodness sakes, you're the students that would be eligible for PLC. They want students that are already up there with regard to credit level and academic work, and also activities on campus. So if you were super active last semester, you'd be a great candidate for PLC. So I want to encourage you to look into that. And GTA SAM, I believe, has provided you with a QR code for that application as well. Okay, well, with that being said, let's get started into our presentations for this week. And it'll be a different location, but it'll be me. And we're going to talk about a cool program called the Work Integrated Learning Program. It's a pilot program in the College of Engineering. And our class is the class that's going to kick this whole pilot program off. So let's talk about what lies ahead for all of you. Hello, everyone. I am excited to let you all know this semester we are kicking off something called a Work Integrated Learning Experience. And it's all because UCF was selected to be a national participant in a pilot program that is implementing this into the curriculum, the existing curriculum at different universities across the US. And the College of Engineering has been selected as the college to conduct this pilot program. And it will be part of what we do this semester in the lecture in our 1007 class. Now, the main goal of this work integrated learning experience is to provide students with some hands-on experiences that sort of help bridge the gap between being a student and then ultimately entering the workforce and being prepared and ready to, do a great job in the quote unquote real world. This pilot program, it begins in the freshman year, and it will continue and expand into a student's sophomore year and then junior year, and then finally in their senior year of college. So let's just take a quick look at the activities that you'll be participating in during this semester. The slides that I'm going to go through quickly are part of your module for the next week or two. So you're going to have to kind of go through them a little more carefully. But bottom line is that we'll have 3 different experiences that you'll be participating in. One is an industry simulation through the Forage software program, and you will be able to select the simulation that you are interested in based on your major or your career goals. We're going to use VMOC again. We used that last semester to work on your resume to provide feedback and recommendations to improve your resume. This time we're going to use VMOC to create and perfect, hopefully, an elevator pitch. And then finally, there'll be an employer panel that you all will be attending. So, okay, with regard to Forage, you are going to find module WIL number 1 and follow these instructions. You're going to take the pre-quiz that appears in there, and then you're going to use the link to sign on to Forage, create an account, and this account has to be made with your UCF email. If you don't make it with the UCF email, we don't know that you've completed everything and you won't get credit for it. You're going to complete only one simulation, and the simulations vary in the material or careers or industries that they cover, and also the length of time. Some of them are shorter than others, admittedly. So you'll select one of those simulations. And again, it makes sense to pick one that relates to your major or your career goals. At the end of it, you're going to get a completion certificate. All right, so be sure that you take a screenshot of that. You're going to take a post quiz and then also upload that certificate. And the little quizzes are very, very quick and very simple. Trust me on that. But the bottom line is that you have to have that completion certificate in order to get full credit. And like I said, the pre-quiz and the post-quiz, you have to take those as well. Okay, so the next activity that you'll be doing will be happening in February, and that will be the VMOC elevator pitch, basically. And the reason that it will happen in February is that March is when UCF is hosting its spring very large career internship and career expo. And so hopefully if we start in February, by March you'll have this really awesome elevator pitch that's all set. And then the last activity that you'll participate in is an online employer panel where we're going to bring in leaders of industries. And here's just an example of some of the companies that will be represented. And I know I've got NASA, but we'll maybe try and get one more aerospace company in there as well. And I want to just remind everybody that doing the work integrated learning assignments and attending the employer panel, those are required. You cannot use your freebie for those, okay? If you miss any of them, that has to be with some sort of documented excuse. All these have to be completed. So again, 3 activities. It's the beginning of a program that we hope to just kind of continue over the next few years. And because you're freshmen, you will be participating in these activities, and they will include really neat things too. We've got some actual courses that you're going to be able to take to get some hands-on project experience in your major. Just some neat opportunities, some 1 credit hour courses that I think are really going to benefit you. So again, let's do a great job, participate and do your best. Take care.
Hi everyone and welcome back. I'm so excited to see you again for this spring semester. If you don't know me, this is your first semester here. My name is Ella. I'm going to be one of your GTAs this semester. I'm doing my master's right now in biomedical engineering on the biomechanics track, and I got my undergraduate in mechanical engineering. So I'm super excited for what the semester has to hold with everybody. Cannot wait to meet you all, and now I'm going to turn it over to your 2 new GTAs.
Thanks, Ella. To introduce myself, my name is Sam. I'm one of your new GTAs.
And my name is Andre. I'm your other new GTA.
And you'll get to learn more about us during the TA Spotlight section of today's lecture. We're actually located in the new TA lab, which we want to show to you. So let's see where that is now.
Okay, now that we're here at the new office, we're just going to give you a couple quick announcements. The first thing, we want to make sure that you guys are double checking where your lab sections are. So not all the lab sections are going to be in the usual 260. Some of them are going to be in Nicholson and some of them are going to be in MSB. So make sure that you are heading to the right place when you're heading to your designated lab sections.
Awesome. Also, just another thing to keep in mind, please let us know in advance about religious holidays and other exemptions. That way we know when you're not going to be in lecture. So ideally by February 1st, send us all an email just so we can keep track of all that.
And in the GTA office here, we're going to have our office hours where you can come to contact us if you have any questions. So personally, my office hours will be on Wednesdays from 4 to 5.
Thank you. My office hours are going to be Mondays from 1:30 to 2:30.
And I will be on Tuesdays from 3 to 4.
Our final announcement is the kickoff of the Great Naval Orange Race logo design contest. As students in 1007, this semester you'll get to participate in the Great Naval Orange Race by forming teams and building boats to carry an orange around the reflection pond. However, the Great Naval Orange Race 2026 wouldn't be complete without a new logo. By participating in the contest, you get to be creative and get a chance to be featured on content for this year's race, as well as getting a shot for that $50 Amazon gift card prize. The rules are outlined on the screen here. I ask that you please pay particular attention to the text that should be included as part of your logo, as well as the file size and file format restrictions that are given. Big emphasis on the fact that all of your work should be original, And here we can see some examples of logos from previous years of the Great Naval Orange Race, just for some inspiration. Once your logo design is finalized, feel free to email that to me, GTA Sam, using the email on screen here. And please also follow the email formatting rules given on the screen. If you have any questions throughout the process, feel free to reach out to me. This is due Sunday, February 22nd. And again, emphasizing the fact that all of your work should be original, we ask that you take a screenshot of the layers in whatever design software you're using, just to prove that all your work is your own. That's it for the Great Naval Orange Race logo design contest. Now let's move on to the TA Spotlight, where Andre and I will speak a little bit more about ourselves. All right, what's up everyone? We are back in the TA office once again for our TA Spotlight. We've got me, Sam, and Andre here, your new GTAs. We're gonna introduce ourselves, and in particular, it is freezing cold in this room right now. If you see my teeth chattering, it's just because it's 65 degrees in this room, and I am a Florida boy, born and bred, so I'm not used to this. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I also have lived in Florida my whole life. I do not do well in the cold, so.
Yeah, so I'm gonna bring a jacket next time, is what I've learned.
For sure. So I guess I'll go ahead and get started and just talk about my student background real quick. So here at UCF, I did my bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering. I did a minor in biology, and I'm currently working on my master's degree in mechanical systems. And then Sam, what about you?
Awesome, yeah, I have a pretty similar background. I also did my bachelor's in mechanical engineering, and I got a minor in studio art. So for anyone who likes visual art, you guys are my people. And I'm also doing my master's in mechanical engineering, mech systems track. So we kind of have a similar degree path, but as you'll see later on, mechanical engineering in particular can look very different for different people just based on what your interests are. So, yeah.
Absolutely. I guess I'll also go ahead and start off talking about just my experience as an undergraduate student here at UCF, and more particularly as like an undergraduate TA. So as you guys get further along, you're going to see ULAs and UTAs in your syllabus, depending on whatever class you're taking. The distinction between those is a ULA is undergraduate learning assistant. Whenever you see those, they're there to hold office hours and like host labs and work directly with the students, like basically helping you out with the course. Undergraduate TAs don't typically interact with students as much, and they're more of, well, literally teaching assistant. They're there to help grade papers for the professor and post stuff online, but not really there to interact with students. So me specifically, I was a ULA for 2 different classes. So I did dynamics for 1 semester, which is a course that you guys are going to be taking in the next few semesters. And then I also did thermodynamics for 3 semesters. So for dynamics, I worked with Dr. Powell, thermodynamics, Dr. Mazumdar, and Dr. Nader. I had a really great time doing that. But what about you?
Awesome. I was also a ULA in my undergrad, and I was a ULA for a course called Modeling Methods. So for any mechies or arrows out there, you guys are going to take that course. I had a lot of fun with it, so I hope you guys too get to look forward to that. And outside of just the undergraduate opportunities with TAing, you had additional experience with instruction, right?
Yes. So UCF has a department called the Student Academic Resource Center. So at SARC, there's 2 different tutoring departments that UCF runs, completely free of charge for students. And it's going to be good that you guys are made aware of it now, because the classes you're taking right now, which can range from like biology to chemistry, math, like engineering weedouts, etc., they have tutors for those that are free. So I was the supplemental instruction leader for statics. Students who show up to SI sessions typically score half a letter grade to a full letter grade higher than those who don't. I always made use of those because for me, I realized that I learn best with practice problems. Everyone learns differently, so I'd recommend at some point trying to figure out what suits you the best. But for me, going outside of the classroom, getting practice and learning how to solve those on my own went really far in helping me like succeed in my courses.
Yeah, for sure. It's a great resource. And sort of piggybacking off of that, like learning outside of the classroom sort of topic, I wanted to plug research. So I've got experience both in undergrad and grad research here in the engineering department at UCF. In particular, I got the opportunity to join a lab where we do modeling and simulation of offshore wind turbines, and it is my favorite thing ever. I'm a total nerd about it. So we get to do a lot of work just kind of making codes simulating all the things going on these offshore wind turbines out in the ocean. And I love the fact that we get to work in energy and kind of like work in this untapped source of renewable energy on the ocean. It's a lot of fun. Anyone who gets the opportunity to do research with a professor, I highly recommend it. It really gives you the experience to know what your interests are outside of the classroom. And speaking of experience outside of the classroom, do you have any project experience as an engineer?
Yeah, that's a great question. So like you mentioned earlier, your degree is going to look different depending on who you ask. So my projects focused more on like rehabilitation and biomedical stuff for some of them, especially during my undergrad. But as a senior, my senior design project was drone-based rocket recovery, where we're making a drone to intercept a rocket midair and return it to a landing site undamaged. That was my first ever exposure to aerospace projects, and I found out that I loved it. So ever since then, I've been working on several drones and several rockets. I'm currently going towards level 2 certification rocket. And yeah, so it's a field that I never really saw myself working in, but again, my degree is very broad, and that's kind of the area that I'm interested in. So even though we're studying like the same thing technically, we can apply it in very different ways.
Yeah, that's definitely true. I kind of had a similar experience in going into my senior design project. I got exposed to a lot of like the electrical engineering aspect of things with microcontrollers and programming and circuitry. So that's become more of my forte since then, and I work a lot with robotics, so I'm a big robotics guy. And I think it's really cool that I can just kind of pivot to that and do it just because I'm interested in it. Definitely, like, you're not boxed in by your major at all. So yeah, that I think about sums it up as for our experience as students here at UCF. But being an engineer is more than just being a slave to the system. I think it's really important to just have that work-life balance. So, you know, being able to dedicate time just to step away from engineering for a minute is really important. Do you have anything that you do for that?
Absolutely. So I do like that he brought that up. And something that really helped me a lot, especially getting further in my degree, was that sometimes homework expands to fill the time allotted. So if you're going to stay at your desk constantly doing like engineering or schoolwork, it's going to get miserable at some point and you're going to get burned out at some point. So I liked to make use of the calendar on my iPad. Everyone has their own little system for that, but getting really good at time management is going to go a long way. So my personal hobbies are mostly outdoorsy kind of things. I like stepping away from my computer and like just going outside and experiencing the world. So I work at a zoo on weekends. I like going on walks. I make sure to go outside at least once a day, like usually around 5 miles. I enjoy rock climbing, soccer, kayaking, etc. So just getting good at that time management and making sure you have stuff that you enjoy away from school is going to make it feel a little bit less overwhelming and like it's one part of your life, but not something that has to like necessarily consume you.
Yeah, exactly. I have discovered pickleball recently within the past year. I kind of played tennis and table tennis as a kid, but pickleball definitely blew up to the point that I can never, ever have a game on the UCF courts ever because they're always full. So kind of salty about that. But that has kind of been my saving grace throughout grad school, just giving me an opportunity to kind of like just have some physical activity, stay active, and give my brain a break. So I think it's a really important thing to highlight. And I mean, UCF has all kinds of opportunities at the RWC as well. So, or the Arboretum for people who like taking walks.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What else do I do? I'm a huge nerd. So I actually watch a lot of YouTube videos on engineering as well. So for anyone who likes watching like Veritasium or like 3 Blue 1 Brown or even like Mark Rober, keeps the passion burning for me as an engineer, but it's still kind of like my tee-hee, haha, fun time where I can just go on my phone and watch some YouTube videos.
Absolutely. So I know that we just mentioned like don't make engineering your whole life, but at the same time, it's important to enjoy what you do sometimes too. And it is also nice to see like other people applying their degrees in maybe a way that you wouldn't have expected. Maybe you'll find something else that you enjoy.
Yeah.
So I enjoy watching those same YouTube channels. YouTube in general can also be a very helpful source of information though, especially as you get further along in your classes. So when you guys are taking statics, for example, there's going to be a YouTube channel called Jeff Hansen. Highly recommend watching that. He breaks it down very well, and that's part of the reason I enjoyed the course enough to become a supplemental instruction leader for it later. So professors typically also have their own personal YouTube channels. I know that might be the case for this class, but as you're going further along, they like to post lecture videos as well or problem-solving videos.
Mm-hmm.
Those are going to be really helpful to look back on like as you get there, because a lot of times they're solving the same problems that you might see showing up in your exam. Other times they might explain it a little bit differently in the video versus in class. So just hearing those different ways of explaining it can help break down the problem a little more so you can understand it better.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think this has been TA Spotlight. I hope you guys have enjoyed getting to know a little bit more about us. I know I will definitely enjoy getting to know a lot more about all of you guys. I look forward to just being involved in this class. And yeah, with that, have a good week.
Hey everyone, Lucas here with Theta Tau Fraternity to tell you a little bit about us. We are a professional co-ed engineering fraternity that focuses on 3 pillars: brotherhood, community service, and professional development. For professional development, we host mock interviews, resume critiques, and with a network of over 600 engineers in this chapter alone, you're guaranteed to make the connection that'll advance you to the next step in your engineering journey. For community service, we host weekly events like bed builds, meal planning, and we're super active in Nighthon, our fundraiser here at UCF for Miracle Children's Network, and we've been the highest funded student organization for 2 years running now. And for brotherhood, we make sure to build that brotherly bond that we preach, and you're guaranteed to find your community here in engineering. If you are a student in the CECS major, including IT or photonics, we'd encourage you to come out to Rush next week, hosted here in the atrium at 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. from Tuesday to Friday. The events are going to be Meet and Eat, Community Service Day, Professional Development, and Speed Networking. If you have any questions, you can join the Remind, where we're going to be sending out all our notifications. If you want to follow our Instagram, thetatau.ucf, we'll also be posting every update there. Or if you want to just come swing by the table, we'll be in the engineering atrium all of next week from 11 to 3 p.m. We'd love to have you out, and thank you for listening.